Here's the Mosquito. First, we're going to start with a hook in the vise. Now, I'm going to warn you, if you've ever thought mosquitoes were obnoxious during the summertime when you're trying to have a picnic, this tiny little fly is going to give you some trouble too. But hopefully it won't bite you, like mosquitoes typically do, unless of course your casting is off for the day. Start with a little black thread and work that back here. And take a little of this black and white feather for the tail. We're just going to take a few of these pieces off. Let me get a better grip on that this time. Tie those in as the tail. Going to cut off that excess up front. Couple of wraps there. Next up, we're going to tie in these wings. There's just little tiny wings on top of the fly. Let's bring that original one back up here. You can see those wings. Okay, so we're going to just take these little wings here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back that feather, just exposing the tip of it there. And remember, you don't want to crowd the eye too much because you need to tie in the hackle here in a few minutes. And a little thread up front to kind of build that barrier to hold that wing up in the air. We'll probably have to come in and fix that in a minute when we do the second wing. And repeat that process on this side. Now we're going to build that barrier up front to hold those wings up in the air. Okay, some of that material comes out, and that's fine because we're going to put the hackle here in a minute too. Okay, now we're going to come back here. The body of this is the black thread. We're going to take one strand of both these kinds of deer hair, both these colors, one of each, for the ribbing on the body. So there's one white, and there's one brown. Now to see these on the original, the white stands out, the brown doesn't as much. I used my phone to get a good zoomed in look at the body on this. We're going to tie those in here in the back. And move that thread up towards the wings again. Now carefully, without trying to snap this, we're going to create those ribbings. Not much room here to work with. We're just doing a couple of wraps. That white one got carried away there for a second. And I'll tie that down. Trim off the excess. Next up is the grizzly hackle. Just going to flare that out at the end. Rip off a couple at the end so I have a stem to tie in. I can see my wing came forward a little bit. I'm going to try to give that another wrap or two in the front. This hackle that we're tying in will also help hold that down here in a second. Now this is a tiny mosquito, just enough to ruin your day if it bites you. But we're just going to do a couple wraps behind the wings. Try to capture that wing there. And a wrap in the front. And tie that off. Grab the whip finisher. And there you have the mosquito.